Governor, last week Kathleen Sebelius was in Memphis,
right.
and someone asked where things were with the Medicaid, and this is what she said. We don't have specifics from the governor's office. There are lots of conversations. I've talked to the governor probably 3 or 4 times directly, and the staff has too. I mean, this is 11 months later, and there are no specifics. You all presented a specific plan?
Well, obviously we presented a specific plan. You would know about it. What I told them is I'm not going to waste your time with a plan that I can't get approved in Tennessee, and then I know that you all won't accept. Some other states have taken a plan up there and said, hey, here's what we'll do, knowing that there's no way that HHS will do that. I'm not going to, again, waste their time or our time with that. So we've had very specific, it's not right to say that we haven't had specific conversations, because we've gotten down to how you define medically frail and a whole lot of other key issues to us. But I'm not going to waste their time or our time with a proposal that I know is either not going to go anywhere in Washington or not going to go anywhere at Legislative Plaza.
Well, strategically speaking, how do you do that if you've got 2 moving parts? That seems almost an impossible task.
Well, that's the challenge. I mean, just to be really frank with you, that's the challenge, and that's why it's been 9 months, or hadn't from March, I guess 8 months. And we keep having those conversations to see if we can come up with something that we think, again, that Tennessee will approve and that they'll accept. It's a tough match, but it's not for lack of trying. I can assure you that.
Now, Ramsey last week earlier this week said didn't see it having any real chance of passing.
Well, I mean, that probably speaks a little bit to the difficulty, quite frankly. I mean, but again, I think it's what I said at the time was I'm going to see if I can find another pathway to make this work, and we continue to do that. I would hope that sometime in the next short period of time we'd actually have something we'd send to them and say, here's the framework of what something that is acceptable to us would look like.
What's the likelihood that specifically doesn't trust the federal government, no matter what agreement is hammered out, he'd be against it. So, I mean, is this a fool's errand?
Well, I mean, I hope not. I mean, like I said, I said back in March, here's what we're going to try to do. And again, I admit it's a difficult task to find something that we think works for us and that will get approved by them. But I don't think it's the right thing to do just to throw in the towel either.
What's the likelihood the state's just going to miss out on this money, at least for the next year?
Well, I mean, I think obviously the more time that goes by, I think, the harder it is to be ready January 1. Now, the truth is, with the issues they have enrolling people anyway, it'd be difficult. You might have some difficulty anyway, but obviously every day that goes by, it gets harder to, that's another day further. But again, we have to deal with the reality we have, both budget issues and something that we think works for Tennessee, and that's not easy.
What do you say to the hospitals and the hospital associations?
We have lots of conversations. Well, I don't know if they're counting on it happening. We have a whole lot of conversations with them and continue to. I've met probably THA, I don't know, several times. I'm going to meet with them again next week or two. I realize the difficult position they're in, but again, it's back to Andy's question. We have a very difficult needle to thread here.
Governor, despite what the Lieutenant Governor said, do you think if the federal government approved what you've set out, that you could sell it to the legislature?
I honestly don't know. I mean, if you want an honest answer, but I wouldn't. Again, I'm not going to take something to them that I don't think is two things that I don't think personally is a good deal for Tennessee, and number 2, that I don't think I have a shot at getting approval in the legislature. I'm not going to waste their time with just here's an idea that, like I said, either that won't fly here or that I know they'll say no to. I mean, there's certain things that we could put on paper and say, here's what we'll do, and I know there's 0 chance they'll approve it. I'm just not going to waste everybody's time doing that.